Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Today something a bit different. It's the T-2C Buckeye, the US Navy Training Pilot School aircraft for training, an aircraft for training US pilots obviously, for carrier-borne operations. An interesting aircraft. It's not really my sort of thing, but it's quite interesting. It's kind of a, you can see it's got similar attributes in it to something like a Hawkeye or a Prowler. You know, it's got some certain looks about it because it's a Grumman aircraft, I think, wasn't it? Now this is from Wolfpack, who are a South Korean company. It's 72nd scale. Thought we'd take a look. Loaned to the channel, it's not mine. Loaned to the channel by our good friend David Mumry. And he picked this up at the Nantucket show back in February, and he said, "Oh, you should review this." And I was like, "Really?" You know. And I think he saw, he was perhaps being a bit more attentive than I was, because he saw a lot of potential in this, and I think he thought they were an interesting manufacturer. So I think he's right. I think I should take pay a bit more attention to it. Let's have a look at this. So it comes with cartograph decals. It's got a lot of things going for it. It's got two schemes on the side here, as you can see. The Pawtuxet River NAS School for US Navy pilots in August 2005, and you've got two different schemes basically, number 20 and number 24. I never understand why they do that when they're so similar, but anyway, you've got some nice looking, looks like some fairly decent decals coming up there as well. It's kit number, they call it WP 1006. There we go, the Buckeye. Who else did a Buckeye? I think Matchbox did one, didn't they? Later Matchbox, so I don't pay much attention to that. Not real, blah blah. Faux Matchbox. I get very sniffy and snobbish about it, you know I'm like. Oh. Anyway, let's have a look inside, and without further ado, because I think it's going to be quite interesting, this. Something I haven't seen before, at all. Manufacturer I've never heard of before, if I'm honest. I thought they were Ukrainian for a minute, because that's where a lot of manufacturers seem to be in Ukraine these days. So we've got some decals, we've got a little bit of an instruction leaflet. Oh, like a colour call-out, that's nice. Looks good. It says the North American T-2C Buckeye is the third variation of the T-2 series. It's the United States Navy and Marines and US Marines training aircraft for flight missions on carriers for almost 40 years. The T-2C is equipped with two General Electric J85G4 engines with a top speed of 834 kilometres an hour. What's that, 520 miles an hour? It's not bad, is it? It entered initial service in 1968 and was replaced by the T-45 Goshawk in 2008. After all T-2Cs were retired from their training missions, a few of them were still used for training experienced pilots and test pilots in methods used by the US Navy in Pawtuxet River until 2012. Okay, there we go. So we've got data sheet here. Also shows you a sprue map. On the back we have our colour call-outs, and I say it's slightly bizarre because they are quite similar and from a similar time even, so I'm not sure why they chose those, but there we go. We've got some decals, which we'll look at in a second. Let's just have a look first at the instructions. It's kind of strange, it just sort of starts immediately, there's no cover sheet. Ejector seat. There we go. Ejector seat complete with a bit of a close-up photograph, which I quite like. Yes, okay, quite like that. That's quite helpful. And one ejector seat and then the other. Reasonably detailed looking, aren't they, for a 72nd scale kit? Especially compared to Matchbox, obviously, or Airfix of the era. Rear instrument panel, a whole set of instruments going in there, and then there's obviously you're building up the area where the pilot sits. Your front gear bay going underneath, building up your jet pipes here, and then popping them in at the back. Telling you to put 10 grams of weight in the nose, very helpful. I wish more manufacturers would specify the amount of weight, because a lot of them don't. They just say weight and then show an arrow or something silly like that. Even Matchbox used to do that. And then you've got, again, these odd photographs being thrown in, which I quite like, as a reference picture. You've got your intakes going on, your lower fuselage cover, underside there. You've got your tail arrestor hook going in. Left wing and right wing, complete with booms on the end. Got some flaps, that's nice. Got some flaps, excellent. Both wings. Bringing your wings and tails. Main landing gear going on, complete with your doors. A couple of decals to go on there as well. No photo actually. No, but they do give you a mask set though. We'll get to that in a minute. Front landing gear and the doors going on here. Again, a nice helpful photo showing you what it should look like. And then the main gear, gear and bay covers. Again with some more photographs to help you along the way. And then on the rear you've got the closed option for flight. Not sure what the point of that is when there's no stand, but anyway. I mean, I enjoy closed for flight, but you need to have a stand for it to stand on, don't you? Anti-glare shields for the instrument panels. Building up your canopy with it's got a canopy frame. It's not made all that clear. It's like a support reinforcement frame underneath. And then you've got some canopy masks, which I fully applaud. And we need to see these from Airfix. We need to see them from ICM. This should now become normal, I think, for everybody. And then final assembly, and it actually shows some pictures of a finished model, which looks rather nice, to be honest. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it, actually? And there's a photo of a real one there. Fantastic. Okay, so I mentioned that we have got some decals here and a nice mask set. I think we should have a look at them. Let's have a nosy. Oops. That didn't cut as well as I thought it had. Let's have a look. Okay. Now, as I say, they're from South Korea, these guys. I'm presuming that maybe they've been used in South Korea, I don't know. I wonder if they sold them on to the South Koreans. It seems interesting that they would pick this subject, that's all. So here is our mask set, including masks for the wheels. So, yes. Nice. Nice set. Yes, more of that, please. Yes, we like that. That's excellent. Then we've got the decal set, which is quite a nice one, got to say. Including instrumentation there. Quite small. There's quite a lot of stencils for a 72nd scale. Oh, I'm not sure I'll be bothering with those. Call me a lazy so-and-so, but you know what I mean. I mean, really. 72nd scale, that's a lot of work there. But the instrumentation looks good. They've done that at 72nd scale, but it's just the stencils. I think that's where I draw the line, really, 72nd scale. I do them, but when there's a lot, and if they're really, really tiny, I question the need for them, really. You're never going to read what they say at all, are you? Right, then we've got one bag of sprues, it would seem. Not a very generous bag. Here we go again. Poor David, I keep putting out these kits and then I can't reseal them because the manufacturer is so tight with their bag and there's no slack. And there was me moaning about Airfix being too slack, too generous with their bag. Generous to the point of, felt like an old bin bag, you know. That new Jaguar, I mean, it's not that big a kit and it comes in the biggest bags for a 48 scale kit you've ever seen. Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's have a look at the, we'll do the clear parts last. What's this? It's like a slightly strange colour, it's like a greeny hued grey. But I have to say, Wolfpack, their moulding looks really rather nice. Look at this. Let's take a good close look at this. There is some very exquisite detail here at 72nd scale. Check it out. Yes, I'm liking this. It's very finessed, isn't it? Gear door covers there. You've got your cockpit tub there. This is the lower fuselage section. We've got our ejector seats over here, which look absolutely great. Really nice for 72nd scale. So those are really top notch. You've got the ejector tubes there at the back. And then we've got our landing gear main legs here. And then your nose leg is here, complete with the wheel and tyre. All built as one. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Yes, this is exceeding expectations. And the second, the big sprue. And here we've got our fuselage. Oh yes, that's pretty impressive. Get the feeling that that would take a wash really nicely, you know. It's got really sharp detail, it's excellent. Other side, and this is the port side, but ooh, I don't like it when they moulding those pitot heads like that. That's going to get knocked off, no problem. But they've done and again here, oh, the tail, goodness me. Look at that, formidable or what. Yeah, I'd rather those are put on later. But anyway, the actual moulding is just bob on, isn't it? Look at that, it's a two-sided tail. Yeah, then we've got the wing, lower wing here. And then the main upper wings here. Yes. Well, those are pretty nice, aren't they? And you got your flaps, tail planes, and your wing booms. Okay. Very impressed, actually, very impressed. It sort of reminds me of a little bit of Litarki, you know, small scale but very good detail, you know. Yes, that's quite good. Let's just finally have a look at the clear parts. Now this could be interesting. There's some new manufacturers struggle with this. Okay, so here we go. Now I've got to be honest, there's quite a lot. This is always difficult for new manufacturers, I think, unless they've got a huge experience of it. It's nice, it's bright. Just a bit distorted though. It is quite noticeably distorted. There is a lot of distortion in that you wouldn't see on an ICM or maybe even an Airfix at the same scale, I think. But yeah, it's a weakness. Can you see that? I don't know if it's really that obvious to you on the camera, but yeah, the human eye is picking up quite a lot of defect. It's not terrible, but yeah, it's the weakest sprue in the box, let's be honest. But it's never easy, and when you've got these kind of canopies, we know that they're very difficult to mould, you know, when you've got double contours, basically. Not easy for a new manufacturer to pick up on, so I would say to them, just try and focus on that maybe, for the future. Other than that, very impressed with it, to be honest. Very impressed with it. What I'm going to give it? I'm going to give it 9.25 out of 10. Because apart from that canopy, I thought it was fantastic, to be quite honest. Really, really liked it. Excellent. Very interesting new manufacturer. So keep your eye open for Wolfpack models from South Korea. Let's see what else they come out with. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few. Hope you'll give me 10 out of 10 with a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, don't forget to ding the notification bell. Still one or two people complaining that they're getting no notification. If that ever happens, it's worth undinging the bell and then re-clicking on it. Because I think that, I don't know, it's something going on at YouTube. It's nothing at my end, I can assure you. I've got no control over that, but yeah, it has happened a few times recently. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you thought that was an interesting little kit. I think it was retailing about £25–30 thereabouts. Yeah, I like it. I like the way that they've incorporated lots of things like photographs. I'd love to see some more of their work. I just hope they can focus on that clear part a bit more, because that was a little bit weak. The rest of it, though, was beautiful. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Hope you found it interesting. Until next time, and when we meet again, we'll meet again. Stay well, stay safe. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and bye for now.